everyone, welcome to chemistry class. We have been discussing the chapter 2 physical and chemical changes revision. So this is the part 3 for this revision series, and we have already discussed various type of chemical and physical changes and their examples. Now the topic that comes into discussion here is the change of mass in chemical change. Whenever there is a chemical change, is the mass constant or does it change? Let us understand this point. So this point you have to remember, whenever we talk about the chemical change, the mass of the individual substance will always be changing. Altered is written here, that means change. So individual substance, if we see a particular chemical which is participating in the chemical change, its mass will always be altered. There will be some change that will take place. So let us have an example to understand this thing. For example, if carbon is burned in the air, so when we are burning carbon, what will happen? The carbon is getting reduced. It is burning now, so it is getting reduced, and ultimately carbon will vanish. It disappears. Whatever thing you are burning, it will ultimately get burned and get disappeared from your vision. So ultimately carbon is reduced. So basically what happened, the mass of carbon is getting reduced, and what is now forming? New substances are formed. We have already learned in chemical change, new substance is produced. So when carbon is burned, there we get carbon dioxide. Carbon is getting converted into a new substance called as carbon dioxide. So mass of carbon is getting reduced, and mass of carbon dioxide which is forming, it is increasing. So that is, we can say, the mass of individual substances in a chemical change are always altered or changed. Similarly here, if an iron nail is allowed to rust, so if rusting of iron is taking place, so iron is there, its mass will be there, some of the mass of iron will be there, but if rusting is taking place, what will happen? The mass of the rusted nail, the nail on which rusting has taken place, so new substance has deposited on the iron nail. Iron nail is already having some mass, on that only rusting has developed. So now mass has increased, something extra has deposited on the iron, because some extra particles have deposited here. So mass of the rusted iron nail will be more than the original iron nail. So basically in this example what we are observing is the mass is also changing, although it is increasing here. So what we ultimately conclude here, that is, the mass of the individual substances are always changing. But one thing you have to not to be confused with regard to the mass here, that is mentioned here, that is, although the individual mass is changing, it may increase, it may decrease, but if we compare the mass of the reactant and the product, what chemicals are participating in the reaction and whatever substance is being produced in the reaction, so then if we compare both the sides, reactant side and the product side, then the total mass of the substance taking part in the reaction and mass of the substance formed in the reaction. What I said, mass of the substance which are taking part in the reaction is equal to what? It is equal to mass of the substance which is formed in the particular reaction. Both the masses are always equal. We can write this like, I will just note it here, that is, mass of reactants, means whatever chemical do the chemical reaction, it is equal, their mass is equal to mass of product, whatever is forming. So this is a small rule you have to remember, that total mass of the reactant is equal to total mass of the product, although individual mass may change, it may increase or decrease, but total mass will always be constant, it will remain same. So that is, you can understand here, like the total mass of the carbon, if you are burning, its mass is reducing, but ultimately when it is burning, when carbon is burning, it is combining with oxygen gas. We all know that oxygen is required for burning, oxygen is required for combustion to take place. So mass of oxygen and carbon, if we add both of these together, then you will get the mass of carbon dioxide. If I just write the equation, when carbon is burning, it will be C plus O2 gives CO2. So mass of carbon and oxygen, that is the mass of the reactants, it is equal to what? It is equal to the mass of the product, that is carbon dioxide. So total mass of carbon and oxygen, if we do, it will be equal to the mass of CO2. So that side we can say both the masses are equal, the mass is not changing. If we see the total mass, individual mass will obviously be changing. Similarly regarding the iron nail also same thing happens. Mass of iron gained in rusting is the same as mass of oxygen lost by the air. Whatever oxygen is lost by the air is equal to mass of the iron, mass of the rust that is deposited on the iron nail. So that is same thing only that is happening in the second example. So here we have completed this topic about change of the mass. So what we conclude, individual mass changes but total mass does not change in the chemical change. Let us have a comparison between the physical and chemical changes. Now here the table is given to distinguish or find out the difference between both types of changes involved in nature. First is physical change. It is temporary change, for a short period of time it is taking place. But in the chemical change it is permanent, it cannot be reversed, it is irreversible, that is why it is permanent. But in the second point you see, physical change is reversible, that is why it is called as a temporary change for a short period of time. Third point now, no new substances formed. Nothing new will be formed in regard to the physical change, and new substances are always formed in the chemical change. Lastly, the mass of the substance does not change. No change in mass will be there whenever physical change takes place. But just now only we have discussed this point, that is individual mass. The individual substance mass will always and always be altered. There will be a change in the individual mass of the substance whenever chemical change takes place. So that is the small difference here. You have to learn this is important topic for your exam point of view also. Let us now come to the next point regarding, can we have both the changes, physical as well as chemical? Both the changes can happen together or not? Yes, they can happen. The answer is yes, both physical and chemical changes can take place simultaneously in the same process. In the same example we can conclude so that we can observe both types of changes. Example like we can say burning of a candle. Whenever a candle is burning, both physical as well as chemical changes take place. You may question, how is it happening? So when the candle is burning, physical change is taking place in this manner. The candle is made up of wax, and where the candle is burning, the wick where this candle is getting heated, the wax, because of the heat, it will get melted. So the candle is, you can see in the photograph, so this is the candle wick, it is burning, and because of this burning, heat will be coming out, and because of this heat only, the wax that is just below the wick, this will start to melt. This will start melting. At what will happen, this wax will start flowing downwards, and downwards candle is cooler. At the bottom part, candle is not that much hot, and there what will happen, the wax again freezes, it again becomes solid. So melting of wax, freezing of wax, this is what is called as a physical change. This is how a physical change is taking place in the candle. Whenever a candle is burning, this is a physical change that takes place. Next thing, so this is, you can do in the reading also, the changes in the state of matter. Solid changes to liquid. What is the solid? Wax only. The solid wax changes to liquid wax, and again it becomes solid when it freezes. There is a physical change going on. Let us see the second point here, that is, a part of the molten wax vaporizes and burns. All the wax does not melt. Some of the wax is used in the burning of the candle also, and that ultimately will give us what it gives the new product or new substance. Carbon dioxide is produced and water vapor is produced, and because new substance is produced, we can say it is a chemical change. Also, one time the wax has burned, we cannot get it again back. That is why it is irreversible also. So both the things are happening. Whenever this candle is burning, some of the wax will burn, some of the wax burns, and what will produce there? CO2 gas will produce there, carbon dioxide produced, and also water is produced there. So both of the new substances are produced, and the reaction is what? This change is irreversible. No, we cannot reverse this burning of wax. So that is why it is a chemical change also is going on. So both types of changes are going on at the same time, physical as well as chemical change. That is why we can say burning of candle is a perfect example to show both the changes taking place at the same time. So that is all. We have concluded this point. I hope it is clear to everyone. Next part in this chapter regarding this chapter of physical and chemical changes is about the energy changes involved. Some energy is sometimes absorbed or it may be released by the particular physical or chemical change, whatever is going on. We will discuss this in detail now in the upcoming video. We will wind up for today. Thank you.